Hi everybody, my name is Stacy Snow and my thematic unit is on Sand and Sea and it is for the kindergarten grade level. I start out my unit by having the children bring some sand and sea items like some shells or pebbles or rocks and things like that from home, and then I ask them what they all have in common, what they think they're going to be learning in this unit. I put together an exploration corner and all the things are going to be in here, and they're going to be able to look through them with the magnifying glass and get up close and personal and look at the different shells and how they're different. I also put another box up of fishing gear so they can kind of dress up, and I have a little dress up station. I also put in a large tub that's got a bunch of sand in it. It's got cookie cutters and shells where they can make imprints, learn how to make sand imprints. I've also got a bookcase for a lot of books that they can read that are their age level about the sand and the sea. I tore down my bulletin board, so I'm just going to kind of go over the activities that I had. My first activity is called Sink or Float. I'm going to have a large tub and I'm going to fill it full of water. We're going to have different objects, and the children are going to stick the objects in the water and see if they float or if they sink. I've made a fall chart, and once the children stick the object in the water, and it said, like the pair of dice, well, dice sink. So they would stick the dice in the sink side. Now apples, we all know apples float, but once the children realize that the apples float, they will stick it on the float side. And there's a bunch of different objects, and they'll have a baggie, and they'll pick all the objects out, and then they'll see if it sinks or floats, and then they'll place it on the board. My next activity is called Land and Sea. Similar concept, but they've got one side that says land and one side that says sea, and they're going to have a baggie full of different animals. Some are land and some are sea. They'll reach in, they'll pull an animal out. Well, this one's a crab. Well, crabs live in the sea. They also can live on the land, but they live on the sea. So they will decide which one, and they will slide it down in the seaside. Or if they pick out a land animal, this is an ostrich. Ostrich doesn't live in the sea, they live in the land. So they'll slide it down on the land side. And once they get done with that, then they pull them out and let another student have a turn. And these can change daily or however often you do the centers, so the children are getting new animals each time. And my last activity for my bulletin board was a What Am I? They're also going to have a baggie with different animals, and they'll have to read, or get me to read, the clues, and they'll have a couple clues, like the first one says, I have 8 legs, and it says I swim in the ocean. So they'll dig through their baggie. Oh, it's an octopus. So then they'll stick the octopus next to the clue. And then we'll go down and do the different clues and dig out their baggie, which animal goes with which clue. And for my math learning station, slide over here. It's called Sea Animal Patterns. Now what happens here, there's a net down at the bottom, if you can see it, of different animals. And the children will have to match the patterns. So for the first one, there's a whale, and a starfish. So they'll have to dig through their net and find the next pattern. Well, the next one would be a whale. So they would stick the whale up on the board. They would find another whale and stick that whale on the board. And then they would have to find a starfish. And they would dig in their thing and find a starfish and stick it up on the board. They would repeat the same on the bottom. And then over here, for their higher order thinking, they would create 3 different patterns of their own. There's all kinds of animals in here that they can create by sticking them on the board. So that is my sea animal pattern for math. And over here is my science station. It's kind of hard to see. But this is where they'll label and they'll color the different fish. So learn about that all fish are different. There's a pattern chart, a symbol chart here that they can go by that gives the different parts of the fins of a fish. Then here on the table, they've each got their own fish that they're going to create. They've got the fins, so they'll match the fin, and they'll label the fin on their fish. Once they labeled it all, they will color it and then we'll hang it in the room until everybody gets done. So that is my thematic unit on Sand and Sea for kindergarten. Thank you for watching.